5시를 알려드립니다. 본 방송은 재방송 프로그램입니다. 배우며 사랑하며 EBS FM. Every ending brings a new beginning. TGIF, good evening everyone. I'm your DJ 서미소랑 of Evening Special. The long winter is finally passing, and although the flowers haven't bloomed yet, in our hearts, the first hints of spring are already peeking through. I sincerely hope that each and every one of you will be greeted with joyful news and warm moments, just like the arrival of spring. 다가오는 봄, 여러분 모두 행복하고 따뜻한 순간들 함께하길 기원합니다. Now today is my very last time hosting this show, so come on in and join me. Happy Friday everyone, good evening. I'm your DJ 서미소라. It is Friday, February 27th, and this is Evening Special. 오늘은 첫 곡 Michael Bublé, It's a Beautiful Day로 시작했습니다. 오늘이 마지막 방송이에요. The final day has come. 아쉬운 만큼 마무리도 잘 해보겠습니다. Some friendly reminders, EBS FM Evening Special. 오늘 금요일은, of course, 니치스카 선생님과 함께 하는데요. 마지막으로 여러분의 질문도 답해드리고 Friday playlist 통해서 좋은 음악 많이 들려드리겠습니다. And from 6 p.m. in the second hour of the show, we of course have the evening news. You are now listening to EBS FM Evening Special. 오늘의 소랑소란. Let's talk about our brains for a moment. When we fall asleep, our brains don't simply switch off. Instead, they go into what scientists call clean-up mode. 우리가 잠에 들면 뇌가 쉬는 게 아니라 청소 모드에 들어간다고 하죠. During sleep, the brain clears out the information that piled up throughout the day, sorts through scattered memories, and even washes away metabolic waste. So sleep isn't being lazy. It's not a luxury. It is housekeeping for the mind. Now here's the interesting part. Something similar happens when we zone out. 우리가 멍하게 있을 때도 뇌에서는 비슷한 일이 벌어진대요. So when you are staring out the window, lost in thought, your brain isn't being lazy. It's actually rebooting. It's decluttering. And maybe that's why the great thinkers Archimedes shouted Eureka in the bath, and why Newton had his breakthrough under an apple tree. Sometimes insight strikes us when we finally slow down. But let's be honest, most of us are running on overload. We scroll, we watch, we listen, we think. We are constantly on the go, and truly switching off feels easier said than done. Still, we have to be clear about how we can take in more. Because remember that your brain's cleanup time is important. So zone out once in a while, and please get a good night's sleep. As for me, I've been running full speed ahead, grateful to meet you here every single day, and now I've been given a moment to pause. I'm choosing to see it as a reset, a chance to recharge my batteries and clear my mind. 저에게도 잠시 멈춤의 시간이 주어졌는데요. 재충전하는 기회로 잘 삼아 보겠습니다. So I'll be stepping away for a little while so that I'll be back clearer and brighter than ever. 오늘의 소랑소란 뇌 청소 모드에 대한 이야기였습니다. 여러분도 이미 잘 아실 거예요. 우리가 자는 시간이 낭비하는 시간이 아니라 낮 동안에 들어왔던 정보도 재정리하고 노폐물도 씻어내는 시간이라는 거. So you have to say goodbye to the old and welcome in the new. 그리고 멍하니 있을 때 좋은 아이디어들이 막 떠오르기도 하잖아요. 저는 운전할 때 특히 이런 걸 많이 경험하는데 그러니까 모르는 길을 운전할 때 조금 달라요. 그때는 이제 온몸이 굳고 긴장해서 그 어떤 아이디어도 떠오르지 않는데 잘 아는 매일 가는 길을 운전하다 보면 내가 약간 오토파일럿 모드로 들어가면서 I get new ideas, new epiphanies, and new solutions to things that I have been stuck on. Alright, let's have a look at some expressions. The first one is declutter. D-E-C-L-U-T-T-E-R. D, 제거하다. clutter, 어지러진 물건들, 잡동사니. 그래서 declutter라고 하면 물건이나 생각을 정리하다 라는 뜻이 됩니다. For example, I need to declutter my desk. 책상을 좀 정리해야겠어. I need to declutter my desk. She spent the weekend decluttering her closet. 아마 봄 청소하고 있나 봐요. 주말에 옷장을 비웠다. She spent the weekend decluttering her closet. Decluttering your space can reduce stress. 공간을 비우면 스트레스가 줄어든다. Decluttering your space can reduce stress. 그리고 멍하니 있는 순간에도 우리는 아무것도 안 하는 게 아니라 생각을 정리하고 있는 거죠. It is decluttering. And the next expression, switch off. 스위치를 끄다. 그러니까 뭐 전원을 끄다라는 뜻도 될 수 있고요. 사람에게 비유를 하면 사람이 집중을 끊다, 멍해지다라는 뜻입니다. So for example, physically, switch off the lights. 불 꺼. Switch off the lights. Don't forget to switch off the TV. TV 끄는 거 잊지 마. Don't forget to switch off the TV. 그런데 사람의 생각으로 비유를 하면 I switched off during the meeting. 회의 중에 집중이 끊겼어. I switched off during the meeting. And one final example. When we fall asleep, our brains don't simply switch off. 우리가 잘 때 뇌가 단순히 집중을 끄는 게 아니다. When we switch off, no, when we fall asleep rather, our brains don't simply switch off. Alright, that is a wrap for today's 소랑소랑. The transcript will be uploaded to our evening special website. We'll be back after this song. It is Taylor Swift singing Clean.
Bringing the world home to you. Evening special.
You're listening to Evening Special here on EBS FM. This is part 1. I'm your DJ 서미소랑, joined by 부자쌤.
안녕하세요, 선생님.
How are you?
I'm proud to be here for this historic last 소랑소란 of all time. Thank you for that one.
How was the final 소랑소랑?
It really cleaned my brain out, actually.
It decluttered your brain.
저는 멍 조금 많이 때려요, so I think my brain must be super clean, actually.
Super clean in our minds if we are kind of, gazing out the window and drifting off
Yeah.
into our own thoughts.
Well, let's hope so anyway, because I don't really feel any smarter after doing that, to be honest. But
No, I'm sure your brain is ready to take in new ideas after all that.
I like that. Let's go with that.
All right, let's go ahead and check some listener questions.
도와줘요.
English.
SOS.
The first question
Wait,
from...
you made me do the very last SOS all by myself?
아니,
I was so
제가
lonely.
눈빛을 교환하면서 이제 짠 같이 하자라고 하려고 했는데 벌써 S를 외치셔서 I let you have it. I let you have the center stage.
Because I have to read it to make sure I get it right.
Alright. And make sure that you're not dozing off. Alright, let's check out the first question from 끝번호 9960님. 딱히 용건 없이 그냥 잘 지내나 연락해봤어. 이거 영어로 뭐라고 해야 될까요? SOS.
So, no real reason, I just called to see how you're doing.
just 여기서 들어간 핵심 단어가 just예요.
Yeah.
그게 그냥에 해당하는 단어인데
Right.
just no real reason 특별한 이유는 없어. See how you're doing. 잘 지내나?
That's a good point, actually, because if you say, I called to see how you're doing, it kind of suggests that something is wrong.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh, is everything okay? I haven't heard from you, or...
너에게 대해서 안 좋은 소식을 들었는데 아니면 너가 아픈 것 같은데 it kind of has that implication.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure to add a just. 그래서 the option that I had was just wanted to check in.
Yeah, that's a good one.
안부차 연락했어. Just wanted to check in.
Mm-hmm.
No particular reason. Just saying hi. 그냥
Yeah.
인사하려고 전화했어. No particular reason.
Or I just called to see if you're doing well.
Yeah, I just called to see if you are doing well.
Yeah.
Many options. The key word there being just.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one from 이영희님.
Some of my gums are lowered from too much brushing my teeth. What can I do, 미소랑님?
아하.
미소랑 치과 의사 선생님.
No, just because this question is a follow-up question because yesterday we did talk about a dental news. So this question wasn't out of the blue.
We all love it when we get to hear dental news from 미소랑-san. But it's not lowered, right? It would be maybe your gums are receding? Is that?
That is the proper term, gum recession.
Yeah,
Yeah.
believe me, I know it well.
The gum has receded. 말씀하신 것처럼 잇몸이 내려앉았으면 gum recession이라고 하는데요. 이게 경미한 수준이면 일단 치과에 가서 스케일링 한번 꼼꼼하게 받으시고 제가 어제 말씀드린, 그저께 말씀드린 거죠. 전동 칫솔이나 BASS, B-A-S-S 테크닉으로 이제 칫솔질 하는 방법을 바꾸시고 또 잇몸이 너무 내려가서 치아가 시리다 그러시면 치약을 시린니용으로 바꾸시는 것도 생각보다 큰 도움이 됩니다. But if your gums have receded too much, where it's beyond repair, 많이 이제 잇몸이 내려간 경우에는 잇몸 이식술이라는 게 있거든요. 그거를 해야 할 수도 있습니다.
수술이야?
수술이에요, unfortunately.
Oh, dear.
But I can't say anything more without having looked at your mouth directly. So the tip, the big takeaway is to first go and see your dentist and get a full scale and profile.
And send 미소랑-san pictures of the inside of your mouth.
Right, on social media. I love those, doing telemedicine on social media. Alright, the next question. It is a rather long one, so please bear with us, everyone. 강병훈님의 질문입니다. English SOS. 안녕하세요. 제가 좋아하는 가수가 오래간만에 발표한 정규 앨범 표제가 Sincerely Melodies라고 하는데 이게 문법적으로 맞지 않다고 하더라고요. 문법상 올바르게 사용하려면 sincere melodies 또는 heartfelt melodies라고 하는 게 맞다고 하던데 예외적으로 문법적 정확성보다 편지의 감성을 그대로 살려 만든 것으로 그렇게 봐야 될까요?
That was a long one, but
Yeah.
I love hearing people's stories like that
Yes.
because this actually means something to somebody. So I believe that I didn't find anything about Shin Seung-hoon being able to speak English. Maybe he
Okay.
can, maybe he can't. But of course, artists can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
When you're doing something creative, you can mix things around, change things up, and make it sound however you want it to sound.
Right, and we call that
Art. Yeah.
art, yes. And we call it poetic license.
Yeah, creative license,
yes,
sure.
creative license.
So he can do whatever he wants, and I'm sure he probably has his own reasons for doing that. Grammatically, maybe not exactly correct. It sounds like that's what you put at the end of a letter, right?
Exactly.
Sincerely Melodies. So it sounds like his name is
Yeah.
Melodies or something like that. Or maybe there's a letter from the Melodies. Maybe that's something like what he meant or
Sure.
something like that. But if you want to be grammatically correct, it's sincere melodies, but I'm sure that he had another meaning there.
Right, it was purposeful, that
Yeah.
mistake.
Mm-hmm.
네, 저도 강병훈님하고 생각이 같은데요. 말씀하신 대로 sincerely melodies라고 하면 문법적으로 틀린 건 맞아요. 그런데 일부러 poetic license, 시적 허용을 써서 sincerely yours 대신에 sincerely melodies 라고 한 게 아닐까 싶습니다.
Mhm.
그러니까 그 가수의 멜로디가 바로 그 가수 자체이라는 뜻이기도 하고요.
Right.
So it was just a creative, poetic way of getting the sentiment across,
Yeah,
I believe.
It's like a love letter from these songs, something
Yeah.
like that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he has a massive team, one of whom can speak English and will have pointed
Mhm.
it out if he did not have some other reasons for it.
I personally like it when artists do new things and kind of makes you think. It made us
Yeah.
talk about it for a while, right?
Exactly.
Mhm.
All right, so that is a wrap for today's English SOS. We will now take a song break.
It's Pharrell Williams, Happy.
Friday Vibes. 음악은 저희들이 책임집니다. Your Friday Music Specialists.
Friday playlist.
Friday Playlist. 오늘이 마지막 시간인데요. 오늘 선곡 주제는 바로 새봄을 기다리는 노래입니다. It is still February. 아직 3월이 안 됐지만 그래도 it is starting to get a little bit warm,
Yeah.
right?
You can feel the spring in the air.
Exactly.
Mhm.
노란 개나리, 붉은 진달래 피는 봄을 기대하면서 we are going to look at songs about the new spring.
Mhm.
Does the spring, the Korean spring, does it differ to the one in Canada?
No, it's very similar. We have kind of a similar four-season situation in Canada, but it's kind of beautiful in Korea because it's kind of, the city gets very gray in the winter. I mean, it's the same anywhere, but it's gray, and especially I drive past Namsan a lot, and it's kind of all sticks and bare, and you can
맞아요.
see it. It's like it's a bit of a
Barren.
sad scene in the winter, but then it starts to get green and life, and it's like 나리 나리 개나리
Oh, you know that song.
묻고요, and that's all I know.
그거
But yeah,
어디서 배우셨어요?
I
From your
don't
wife?
remember. Peut-être, maybe, yeah.
Okay. No, but I know what you mean because in places like Australia, New Zealand, Sweden, nature is so you're surrounded by beautiful nature,
Yeah.
even inside the city.
Sure, yeah.
But in Seoul, it's city. It's city 2.0 where it's very gray.
It is, but except for on the mountains,
Except
right?
for on
You
the
have these
mountains.
little green islands of sanctuary, and I love that about Seoul. It's so great. So it's so nice to see those mountains come to life again.
Right, come to colorful life.
Yeah.
And it's only when I've lived in Seoul that I began to appreciate nature because of the relative absence of it
Sure.
stuck in the central city.
So we're doing, what's the 주제 for today?
주제 새봄을 기다리는 노래였죠. 그래서 my first pick is the Beatles. Here comes the sun.
Good one.
It's alright.
I can't believe I didn't think of this.
Oh, I thought you had thought of this, but you 양보하신 줄 알았네요.
No, I didn't even think of it. Good job. Excellent.
Alright, so the British band Beatles included this song on their album Abbey Road, and it was written by George Harrison to symbolize hope and new beginnings.
He wrote it in April 1969. Actually, he was in Eric Clapton's garden just outside of London, just playing around on his guitar. And actually, John Lennon is not on this song. He was in a car accident, and he wasn't there when they recorded it.
But I do believe that John Lennon said that this song, 이 곡이 비틀즈 곡 중에 가장 희망적인 곡이다라고 존 레논이
really?
말을 했었습니다.
Well, that was very generous of him.
Yeah.
It certainly is one of their most popular. It's the most streamed Beatles song on
Ever?
Spotify.
On Spotify. 그러니까 제목처럼 길고 긴 어둠 속 뒤에 이제 처음으로 오는 햇빛을 뜻합니다. So it perfectly matches the feeling of waiting for the warmth of the spring after winter.
I don't think you even need to explain that one. That one's self-explanatory.
Right, self-explanatory indeed.
What's your next one?
My next pick is Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten.
From the golden age of Misorang's music selections, the early 2000s.
Exactly. Do you know this song?
Of course.
Have you watched The Hills?
I have not.
But have you heard of it?
Of course.
So this is another song from the UK, this one from British singer Natasha Bedingfield, and it's featured on her album Unwritten. 봄은 이제 새 시작을 뜻하잖아요. 앞으로 뭐가 펼쳐질지 모르는 시작을 뜻하는데 the lyrics here perfectly match that sentiment.
Okay.
Today is where your book begins. 오늘이 너의 책이 시작되는 날이야. The rest is still unwritten. 나머지는 아직 적혀 있지 않지.
Yeah. Spring does have that feeling of starting again and
Yeah.
potential, you know, you kind of rise out of your winter hibernation like, I'm going to go and take over the world.
Take over the world because anything is possible because everything is still unwritten.
The Bedingfields are actually a very talented family. She has a brother called Daniel Bedingfield.
She does?
Yep, he had a #1 UK hit as well with Gotta Get Through This. Have you ever heard that?
I
Gotta
have not.
Get Through This? Anyway.
Maybe if I hear it, I will recognize
yeah,
it. But
probably, because it's from the early 2000s. So
the era where I had the time and the luxury to listen to songs. 제가 그 Keeping Up with the Kardashians 가끔 본다고 했잖아요.
Sure.
It's my guilty pleasure. My guilty pleasure of the 2000s was The Hills.
Okay.
The American TV show The Hills. And this was, I think it was the opening song, or it was one of those songs that kept getting played on that show. So it's engraved forever in my mind.
I think everyone loves a little bit of reality TV, but not everyone is so brave to announce that on
Yes,
the radio.
I
So
know.
well done, good for you.
Very lowbrow taste in terms of reality TV, but hey, it's my guilty pleasure.
Sure, what's next?
The next one from Miley Cyrus, Flowers.
We were good.
이건 당연히 아시죠?
This song, actually, I have to admit, I got so sick of hearing this song at the time because it was on every cafe,
station.
every taxi, every bus, every mall, every single place you ever went, there was
Right.
this song on.
So this is from 2023. It's a single by American singer Miley Cyrus about self-love and personal recovery,
Right.
famously after her divorce from actor Liam Hemsworth. 그리고 이 가사 일부가 Bruno Mars의 When I Was Your Man 그 가사 매칭되는 거 아시죠? For example, 브루노가 본인의 곡에서 I should have bought you flowers 라고 하는데 너에게 꽃을 사줄걸. 마일리가 본인의 노래에서는 이렇게 해요. I can buy my own flowers. 꽃은 내가 스스로 살 수도 있어. I should have held your hand. 너의 손을 잡아줬어야 했는데 and Miley goes, I can hold my own hand.
So here's a funny story about this song. It actually was released at 11 a.m. on January 12th. Where you heard this one?
Yeah.
Most songs
Birthday?
are released at midnight, but that made it be released on Liam Hemsworth's birthday in Australia.
Exactly. A lot of revenge elements,
good
cheeky
one.
revenge elements in the music video as well.
Okay, you got one more?
My final pick for 새 봄을 기다리는 노래. Final choice is Ruth B. Dandelions.
Oh, you got a Canadian in there. Good one.
Yes, out of respect to you.
Thank you.
So this one's from Canadian singer-songwriter Ruth B. and it features a simple yet warm piano melody. 일단 민들레도 대부분의 꽃처럼 봄에 피는데 그 민들레가 피면 1-2주 뒤에 홀씨가 되잖아요. And you can blow on it to make wishes and whatnot. 그래서 가사가 이렇습니다. I'm in a field of dandelions. 나는 민들레 들판에 서 있어. Wishing on everyone that you'll be mine. 네가 내 사람이 되기를 하나하나의 소원을 빌면서.
In Canada, in the summer, dandelions are everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
And then, do you really have the tradition of blowing on them for?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did any come true?
Every single one.
Every single
It
one
actually
came true.
works, yeah.
Okay. So that was my final pick.
Okay, which one would you pick if you had to pick just one?
그래도 맨 처음에 나왔던 The Beatles, Here Comes the Sun. 가사 볼게요.
Good one.
Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. So literally, it means 길고 추운 겨울이 지나고 이제 해가 온다. 봄이 왔다. 라는 내용이죠.
It's all right. So let's hear it.
Okay.
This is the Beatles. Here comes the sun.
What a hopeful song. And I just thought, listening to it again, that you can use it when you see that slight glimmer of hope at the end of the tunnel. Here comes the sun. Here comes the light at the end of this long, cold, dark journey.
And that's what we're talking about today for
Exactly.
Friday's playlist.
오늘은 새 봄을 기다리는 노래 주제로 함께 하고 있죠. Tell us what you have.
Well, I wanted to kind of start with a little bit of a feeling of the end of winter first before we get into the spring vibes. So let's go with Noah Kahan, Stick Season.
So we have a narrative arc.
Yeah,
from winter
so this
to
one
spring.
still is kind of a get up and go kind of vibe to the song, but it's about stick season where you know how all the leaves fall off and everything is sticks, right? As if you drive past any mountain in Korea, you see only sticks.
Right, branches and trunks.
And I love that feeling of the sticks kind of coming to life again. So that's the reason I picked this song. Really kind of, that really gives me the full spirit of spring.
So stick season is another way of saying winter then.
Basically, yeah, it's kind of the stretch. It's actually in fall where the leaves all fall out because Noah Kahan comes from New England where everything is covered in snow for the entire winter. So there's a little window there where everything is a bit gross, where it's just no leaves and just mucky and all sticks, but then it's covered in snow and it's kind of beautiful again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the most barren season of them all then.
Right, exactly. Before the regrowth.
Yes.
Which is what we're going for here. And so, you want to move on to the next one? You ready? You want to hear more about Noah Kahan?
No, I want to hear more about Noah Kahan if you have more trivia, because I know you have a lot of
Well,
trivia.
he doesn't know how to tie his shoes, apparently.
정말요?
Yeah, he wore like shoes without laces until the 3rd or 4th grade, and he just never really learned how to tie his shoes.
아, 초등학교 3학년, 4학년이 될 때까지 그 신발끈을 묶는 방법을 몰라서 그 끈이 없는 신발을 신었다고 합니다. I love these random trivia.
All right, let's get something a little more springy then. Hosier, Too Sweet. This is kind of the sweet, sweet feeling of spring. You know, you can kind of feel it right now when the air isn't like biting you all the time. It kind of feels like it's starting to caress your skin a little bit.
Getting a bit more mellow.
I don't know if you ever go outside, but
나가요, 가끔. 이렇게 집에서 나와서 차로 걸어갈 때 그때 느낍니다.
But Hosier actually drew a lot of inspiration from nature for this album. So he talks about a lot of, it's kind of a contrast between hedonism and purity, all that sweetness that he's talking about. So that kind of gives a bit of a spring vibe to it as we move towards the new beginnings of the new season.
Okay. So we went from the barren late autumn, early winter season. Now we're feeling the warmth of the early signs of summer breeze.
Yeah. Hosier's name is actually Andrew, in case you were wondering. Andrew Hosier Byrne. It's one of his last names. And actually almost didn't release this song, but then a little snippet was accidentally leaked on a podcast, and then it became a huge hit on TikTok. It became one of his biggest hits.
Andrew Hosier Byrne.
Yeah.
So Hosier is either his mom's or his father's surname, I'm assuming?
Could be, yeah.
I wonder which one it is. 엄마가 좋아, 아빠가 좋아. Hosier did pick someone.
I don't know, that's probably just the one that sounds the coolest.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to some real spring vibes. Even more so, it's Fleetwood Mac, Gypsy. So this is, of course, from the British-American band Fleetwood Mac from their 1982 album Mirage, and it features Stevie Nicks vocals and some of her more kind of personal, revealing lyrics, even though a lot of their songs are very personal. This is one of her more personal ones. It's kind of amusing thinking about the simple life before she became so famous, before she became such a big deal, and the important things that we sometimes have to leave behind as we move forward.
Right.
So even to this very day, when she feels too cluttered or like overwhelmed by all the fame and success and the lifestyle and attention that comes from that, she takes the mattress off of her bed and she puts it on the floor and puts a little lamp and a little table next to her to remind her of the kind of gypsy life that she used to live when she was trying to become an artist before the success.
Some stoicism to balance out the extravagance.
Right, so thinking of the things that are most important to you as we move into the new season.
Yeah. I like that sentiment.
Not
I like
bad,
that
right?
philosophy, yeah.
Yeah, because we can it can all get away from you, a little bit.
Yeah, and it's so easy to adapt and get used to new, shiny, bright things.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, my next song is Ben Rector, Brand New.
되게 신나네요.
Right.
도입 부분이.
Very bright, upbeat, celebrating hope, celebrating fresh start, so it really has that spring vibe. And of course, it's all very often used in commercials, weddings, different kind of celebratory occasions, things like that. So it really is a song about joyful new beginnings.
I can imagine crowds singing along to this.
Yeah.
For example, at graduation ceremonies.
Sure, love that. So Ben Rector is actually an independent artist who kind of stays under the radar, but he does what he loves, and that's kind of a great inspiration for the coming spring as we kind of reinvent ourselves and seek to become the new thing that we're going to be this year,
미소랑 version 39.0.
Yeah, exactly.
The brand new me.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good one because, there's a bit of that going around right now. He actually almost became a real estate agent, so there you go.
That is so funny and so random.
So I'm going to pick that one out of all of these songs because I think it kind of represents the new start vibe that we're doing today.
Okay.
So let's do these lyrics. You want to help me out here? Like a
Okay.
heartbeat skip,
심장이 한번 멎는 것처럼
like an open page,
막 펼쳐진 책의 한 페이지처럼
like a one-way trip on an aeroplane.
비행기를 타고 떠나는 편도 여행처럼.
Right? That open future vibe.
공인중개사가 될 뻔한 Ben Rector의 노래입니다.
Let's hear it. Ben Rector, Brand New.
Friday 플레이리스트 새 봄을 기다리는 노래. 이번에는 Ms. AI의 선곡 한번 보겠습니다.
There were a few suggestions.
Alright.
Coldplay Yellow, I thought was a good one.
Okay.
Because of that gay-naughty kind of theme we had.
Sure. And the
then,
sunshine feel.
Sure, there you go. Here comes the sun. And then we had Vance Joy, Saturday Sun, because it does start to get a bit sunnier.
Yeah.
Two Vance Joy songs, actually. The AI really likes Vance Joy. Riptide was also picked. And then, did you see any other ones?
Colby Kayla, Bubbly.
Kobe Calais? Yeah, that's a good one.
Because, people start to get a little bit more bubbly. Their
Absolutely.
personalities
You really want to kind of get up and go out more when it's springtime, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we will listen to one of them after the news teaser. 2부 Evening News, 살짝 엿보기.
Quick news teaser.
이달 안에 서두르세요. 여권 발급 수수료 20년 만에 인상.
Hurry before the month ends. Passport fees are rising for the first time in 20 years.
중국이 치고 나간다. 첨단 제조업 전반에서 한국 추월. 메모리 반도체 빼고.
China's pulling ahead. The country has surpassed Korea across advanced manufacturing, well, except memory chips.
다음 달 3일 붉은 달이 뜬다. 36년 만에 정월 대보름의 개기월식.
Mark your calendars. Next month, a blood moon rises. A total lunar eclipse on the first full moon of the Lunar New Year, the first in 36 years.
엄마가 태운 거 아님? 다림질 자국 박힌 셔츠 하나에 160만 원?
Not mom's fault. A shirt with iron burn marks sells for $1,400.
혼밥하다가 음식물이 갑자기 목구멍에 컥 걸린다면? 셀프 하임리히법 알아둡시다.
Eating alone and suddenly choking? Better know your self-Heimlich maneuver.
Have you ever had to do a Heimlich maneuver on anyone?
Thankfully, no, but I make sure that everyone in my family knows how to do this thing because it's such a silly way, I don't want to say silly, but preventable way to cause serious damage or death, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
These days on my algorithm, I see a lot of feeds of babies choking on random stuff, including their own vomit.
Right.
And the parents, the mother or the father, they go into full panic mode, but luckily, just out of reflex, they do the baby Heimlich maneuver, and then it pops out, and after that, every single parent in this video, they like start boiling their eyes out.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like a parent's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Imagine if your baby just died in your arms. But yeah, you flip it over and smack it on the back,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Did you practice it a lot when your kids were babies?
Yeah, for some reason, that's something that I feel like it's so preventable. You know, like, you always worry about your kids. You send them off into the world and something silly happens to them and you lose them forever.
Right.
So I try to, like, make sure they know the simple ones to
Yes.
prevent those, like, what seems like such a small thing but can be such a big disaster.
Right, it can definitely save lives.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so let's go back to the Friday playlist and listen to an AI pick.
Yep. AI picks Coldplay Yellow.